All right, folks. Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm going to put it like that. What a week we've all been through, you know. I don't know about most of you all, but for me, it's been a heavy week of, well, shock for one, and then heavy reflection on my life. And I'm sure all of you are going through the same thing, thinking about your families, thinking about your loved ones, how that was just ripped apart from Charlie Kirk. And now his family has to move forward, and it's going to take a lot of bravado and a lot of willpower from his wife. But I got a feeling she's going to do some very big things in Charlie's name. I have a feeling she's just going to really, carry the cross, carry the torch, and finish this job. And when you think about it, I think Charlie Kirk, and I hate to say he did more with his death because we sure could have used a lot more of him. We sure could have. I would love to have seen more of his debates. I think he could have been even president in 2032 or beyond. I don't know, but I just feel like maybe, look what a light it shined on his life, on the movement, on the MAGA movement, on Christianity, on the nuclear family. Kids that never even heard of him are now looking up his debates and his speeches. So, God works in mysterious ways, as they say. And, I think about my life. I think about what happened to me, getting knifed in the throat, and I almost died, and then a drug overdose. And, folks, maybe a handful of people would have came to my funeral, a few boxing people, and they would have said, he had a hell of a left hook. Okay, well, that would have been the end of that. And Look how big of a response this is, and a revival that's happening across the world. And I just, the impact is unbelievable, and it's shining a light on a lot of other people, like a lot of other people, like, even, I don't know, everyone's looking over at that little country in the Middle East now. Everyone's looking at them, right? So I think a lot is being exposed. A lot is happening. A lot of people on social media are going ham over this, putting up videos, all the anomalies, all the weird, strange coincidences. You saw the university kid giving his point of view from an eyewitness account, and then he just gets shut down mid-interview. What is that? Why are we hearing more from this guy? So we all know there's something much more devious and deceptive that happened at Charlie Kirk's assassination. We know this. And I believe it's all going to come out, and it is coming out right now if you're paying attention. And I'd also like to say, I believe 𝗂𝗃 𝗏𝗏 and Dan Bongino are doing their very best with what they have. You got to remember, they're taking orders from the man himself. They're taking orders from Trump. And it's a very delicate and surgical situation right now, dismantling the narrative, the unwinding the fishing wire that's been tangled in the liberal minds. And it's going to take a while. And that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. Charlie Kirk was literally going to universities and colleges, untangling the indoctrination. That's really what he was doing. Folks, hit the notifications button. You can find me on Venmo. Leave me whatever you feel is whatever I'm worth to you. 𝗑-Rod 1977, 𝗑-Rod 1977. I will be answering super chats today as well. And when the lights go out on Amazon, folks, leave an honest review. My mama's book, The Mexican Mix. Please leave an honest review. Also, folks, get your twin with Nino. Let me knock this out real quick. A growing body of research shows that when you diet, your body fights back. Levels of ghrelin, I think it's called, ghrelin, the hunger hormone, shoots up, while leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, drops. That's why most diets feel like an endless battle. The more weight you try to lose, the hungrier you get. It's not a willpower issue. It's literally your biology. This is why I use my secret weight loss weapon, and I'm obsessed with the results. And folks, it does work. I am not felt hungry in weeks. I'm just eating, I'm eating, but it's just kind of like, I can go without the food. BioTrust GLP-1 Elevate is designed to naturally trigger my own body's weight loss signals without drugs, prescriptions, or needles. It promotes safety and a feeling of fullness reduces cravings, reduces hunger hormones, helps me lose fat instead of muscle, and supports healthy blood sugar levels. Be sure to grab a bottle now while it's 50% off and start experiencing real results. Only at Trim with Nino. Plus, by ordering now, you're also guaranteed 2 free ebooks titled The 3-Week Diet and 53 fat-burning smoothies and milkshakes. All right, folks, get on that. I'm telling you, it works. It works. What a tough week. What a tough week. What a tough week, man. Gosh, Alex, you there? Why don't you jump on a second?
Yeah, what's up, Dave?
A week for you as it is. I mean, it's been horrible, right?
It's been brutal, man. It's been brutal. Just the back and forth, the emotions, you know, the heartbreak, the anger, the rage, the wanting to be just examining, looking back at your life and the life that Charlie led and being like, wow, this man did so much by the age of 31, and it just makes you want to, be a better person, to leave an impact that just scratches the surface of what he did. And
yeah, it's like, I've had, obviously everyone knows my life. I wrote a book on it. It was full of debauchery and degenerate behavior, and which I don't regret any of it, but I'm going to say it led me to who I am today. But I mean, he is a man we should all aspire to be. And that's what people didn't like, is that he was pointing out other people's ugliness, their faults, and saying, you can live a better life. You don't have to live like this. And people didn't like that. And I've said on my ex, it's like he was holding up a mirror into people's souls, and they couldn't tolerate that. So they shot the guy holding up the mirror. And we were forced to look within ourselves. Even me, dude. Even me. I would watch some of his stuff, and I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I didn't agree with it because I knew I had that ugliness inside me.
Right.
And I just think now with it's gonna really force people to look into their own lives. His death was, man, this is up there with Martin Luther King, JFK. I would even say more so, because right?
In some ways, and it's left such a, I really feel for the youth, for Gen Z and the younger crowd who really, really like this, for them in their position. Like, we're a little bit older, we've been through some shit. We've seen, we can take it on the chin a little bit in some ways, but for these kids, like, he was such a galvanizing force, and like this, just, had so much love and so much support behind him. And I just really feel for them too. And like, I mean, for all of us in this, but it's just, it's hard to try to untangle.
So now he's going to open up a vacuum, dude. He's going to open up a vacuum. And who's going to fill that vacuum? Milo Yiannopoulos is licking his, he's salivating. He's licking his chops, getting ready to get in there and fill this vacuum. And that's not the guy. Ben Shapiro's another one. That's not the guy either. I mean,
they've been around, they're kind of, I see them as being in their own lane. Like, Ben's in his own lane. Milo was 2015, 2016. I used to hear a lot about him. I haven't heard about him so much, but maybe.
Right. Well, he said he's coming out of retirement. I don't know. I'm being forced to, like, I've been watching a lot of Nick Fuentes stuff lately, and I'm like, as much as I disagree with that guy on, like, the hatred he puts out there, I feel like he's an agitator. There's some things that I'm like, dude, he's over the target, and a lot of things I'm like, I'd love to have that guy on. I hope, Nick, if you're out there, I'd love to have you on my program. I would be civil about it, have an honest conversation. I won't take any cheap shots, But anyway, folks, I'll get back to you, Alex. Folks, Nino's Corner.tv, Ringside with Nino is Wednesday the 24th at 5 p.m. General's Tent is this Friday the 19th. Stuart Swerdlow, MK Ultra survivor, Montauk survivor, going to be taking questions from the audience, so that's going to be huge. That's on Friday the 19th, 5 p.m. Laura Eisenhower will join us as well. And folks, Nino's Corner.tv right now is fire. I got Laura Eisenhower and Laura Worley, who's an author, talks about ritual abuse, putting the pieces together, puzzle pieces, ritual abuse, and she talks about the Charlie Kirk assassination, the mind control trauma-based programming. She goes into it. It's a stellar. She lists politicians that she did sexual favors for and watched at the rituals, that she actually saw at the rituals. And she's very credible from what I understand. So that's a hell of an interview. Hell of a podcast. Daniel Brinkley's coming back on pretty soon. I got 𝗬𝗏 going to make an appearance again. Leo Zagami. Phil Lyman from Utah, who ran for governor, and you know what happened there. He's coming on the show as well. I got Tom Numbers coming back on. Tom's going to talk about the gematria of the Utah University, Charlie Kirk. Numbers mean something. Numbers do mean something. So, folks, without further ado, you might want to turn it up or turn it down. Yeah, I'm still going to do it. I got to do it every morning because I'm forced to now. I can't get out of it. Oh, God. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Oh, yeah. All right. So we're all reeling back from this week. It was horrific, horrible to watch. I still get videos sent to me of Charlie Kirk's assassination. I just can't look at anything anymore. I'm having the hardest time. But now we know the Charlie Kirk suspect faces death penalty. FBI probes extended networks. So what's happening here? Okay, let's get into this. Oh, and by the way, today, it's out there now that it's unveiled that a massive speaker lineup for Charlie Kirk's memorial this weekend in Arizona. So Erica Kirk, President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, RFK Jr., Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Tucker Carlson, and Stephen Miller are all going to be on the lineup to speak at Charlie Kirk's memorial. I'm still sick over this. But we all know by now there is more to this story from what the FBI and MSM is telling us. There are too many anomalies and mathematically impossible coincidences that just don't add up to Tyler Robinson's being a lone shooter. We all know this. And now the FBI is coming out saying, yeah, there might be an extended network. Oh, you think? So allegedly, Tyler Robinson had an out-of-state license plate. They had out-of-state license plates frequenting his townhouse that actually made neighbors nervous and quite uneasy. Now, I've seen one story on this, and then it was shut down. That's a big component to all of this. Who are these people showing up to Tyler Robinson's place? Out-of-state license plates, making the neighbors very uneasy. Who were they? We now know, we know there were scouting, surveying planes mapping the area just days before. And there was a drone that flew at the exact time of the shooting. Hand signals were being made. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, they were friends of Kirk. They've been on the tour. Everybody's got to be looked at up their ass with a microscope right now. Sorry, I don't care if someone was his friends. I've had a lot of friends in my life when I was boxing. And guess what? They're gone now. They're gone. All my friends I had in boxing when they couldn't use me anymore, they're gone. So I don't trust friends. I don't trust friends at all. Who needs enemies when you got friends like mine? We know the question asked about the trans mass shooting and violence, which almost it at the right time, like a cue or like a signal for the shooter to shoot. The question was perfect. And it was almost like, hey, that's your sign, that's your cue, go. Bam! Right after that question, when he was about to respond it, he gets hit. We also have heard that he was getting bribed by that person in that little country in the Middle East by the tune of millions. I've heard over 150 million for Turning Point to play ball with them. Candace Owens is talking a lot about this right now. And the list goes on and on and on. So we all kind of feel who's responsible here. I kind of got some ideas. I have some ideas. And folks, I don't know if you watched the 𝗏𝗏 show, but there's a lot of symbology. There was a lot of symbology where he was placed during his death, where they shot him. I think we all know this was highly engineered and orchestrated. And you know what? We have all witnessed the mental illness spreading across social media celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. People are getting expelled from school, suspended. People are getting fired. And guess what, folks? That's only making them crazier. Because now they have this righteous indignation. Now they feel justified in what they're doing. Now they're saying, you fascists! They're going through what we went through in 2020. And now that's giving them all the ammunition they need to get crazier and crazier. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be more engineered hits. A Fox News 13 van almost got blown up by terrorists at Charlie Kirk's vigil. I did a show on this. More to come. So these suspects, I believe, were Pakistani. They could have been, I think they were Pakistani. But they've been arrested. They've been apprehended. They go to their house and they find mass weapons of destruction. Weapons of mass destruction. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Weapons of mass destruction in this little house that you would just blink and drive by. So who are our neighbors? Now we're all kind of paranoid, like what the hell? But I'll tell you what, the signs were there. The signs were there. There was an upside down flag at his house. They had signs saying taco for Trump. Is he dead yet? All these literal signs. They can't help themselves. But how many of these people could be living next door to us and we have no idea? We have no idea. They're not flying an upside down flag. They don't have anti-Trump stuff in front of their house. We just don't know who they are. They could be anywhere. And folks, there's millions of them in the country right now. Right now. So the Fox News van in Utah was almost taken out by a bomb planted by Pakistani terrorists on September 12th during Charlie Kirk's vigil. I believe more to come, especially as we come into Rosh Hashanah. Now, I'm not good with dates. I'm not going to make any predictions, but I'm saying we should all be on high alert. I think you all feel the same way. Because if they had to go in, I think right now would be the time, especially with everyone pointing fingers at you-know-who, Netanyahu. Everyone's pointing fingers. I mean, excuse me, if you're highly suspect. There it is right there. A device left under a Fox 13 news vehicle almost exploded. So that right there was a thwarted, almost happened terrorist attack in Utah. So you're telling me this is not coordinated, engineered? So now the question arises, and I'm sure it all arises for you too, is more coming? Are terrorist cells beginning to be activated? And I've said this for 5 years. For such a time as now. They're going to wait. They're not going to prematurely bust a nut, folks. They're going to do this at the right time. And the right time, I believe, is either now or coming very soon. You all know that Charlie Kirk is doing the midday raids in Chicago already. He's already there. We're already there in Chicago, folks. It's going to pick up. So the Charlie Kirk shooting suspect, Tyler Robinson, charged with murder. Prosecutors seek death penalty. Tyler Robinson, 22, appeared in court today virtually for the first time after being arrested. So he appeared virtually. He appeared over Zoom. For the first time after the suspicion of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk on September 10th, the Utah County Attorney's Office announced at a news conference today that Robinson is charged with aggravated murder and obstruction of justice, among other charges. Prosecutors announced they will seek the death penalty. And you know they're going to move fast on this one. But I think there's so much more to the story. So much more. So I would also imagine the other side would like to get to the end of this as well. So they would like the death penalty as well because they don't want him talking. As soon as they can get this done, wrap this up is better for them as well, believe me. Kirk's death caused an outpouring of grief and determination to carry on its conservative message from political allies, including President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. What happens now that a 22-year-old Utah man has been charged with the murder of Charlie Kirk? A look at possible next steps in the prosecution. So here are the next steps. An attorney conducting the search for a public defender to represent Kirk's shooting suspect, Tyler Robinson, said that one could be lined up by tomorrow. I wonder who they're going to get for this guy. Several attorneys have already met Robinson. Attorney 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗏 said today that there are 3 or 4 candidates. The search is being conducted because the local police defender is not contracted to do death penalty work, he said. A Utah man who was initially questioned in the aftermath of Kirk's shooting has been arrested on suspicion of unrelated charges, including obstruction of justice, the Utah County Sheriff's Office said today. George Zinn. Now, you all know who this guy is, who had a lot of sexual child stuff on his computer. George Zinn. Now, this guy's got a story. And let me tell you what I think about this guy. He knows a lot. George Zinn, 71. He was also, where? At 9/11 when the towers came down. George, so is this guy a crisis actor? Who is this guy, George Zinn? We all need to look into George Zinn. 71, was being held on 1 count of second-degree obstruction of justice and 4 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Sheriff's Office said Zinn has no connection to the shooting. It said police wrote in an affidavit of probable cause that after Kirk was shot, Zinn began yelling, "I shot him. Now shoot me," and was arrested. So this guy, talk about mind control, comes out and says, I shot him, shoot me. He wanted to die. So this tells you there's way more to the story. And now he's being held on counts of child, you know what. So this guy, we've really got to watch and make sure that he doesn't unalive himself. To me, folks, this guy holds the key. I'm going to tell you right now, this guy was involved in 9/11, not directly in 9/11, but he was an actor at 9/11, and now he's an actor in this crisis situation. So we all need to be looking at this guy and demand answers. We got to demand answers, and we got to make sure he's on self-deleting watch, because I think this guy's got a lot of stuff in his head that he needs to get out, and I'm sure he can point the finger to a lot of people. Not just with Charlie Kirk, but to 9/11. This guy right here, folks. Take a good look at him. Demand answers from this guy and make sure that he's on self-deleting watch. And of course, to make this story more believable, we got to have a written confession, folks. Of course he had a written confession. Everybody does, right? Yeah, they got to write it out. Suspect left a note. Of course he left a note saying he planned to kill Charlie Kirk, later confessed in text, prosecutors say. Gee, I wonder if those license plates that were showing up to his townhouse were telling him to do stuff like this. Prosecutors brought a murder charge Tuesday against the man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk and outlined evidence, including a text message confession to his partner, hey, his little furry partner. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Prosecutors brought a murder charge Tuesday against the man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk and outlined evidence, including a text message confession to his partner and a note left beforehand saying he had the opportunity to kill one of the nation's leading conservative voices, and I'm going to take it. Now, I'm not saying he's not involved. Obviously, he's very much involved. But I don't know. I think there's more than one shooter. DNA on the trigger of the rifle. Well, just gee whiz, isn't that convenient? DNA on the trigger of the rifle that killed Kirk also matched of Tyler Robinson. Well, you mean he didn't wipe it clean with that towel he had? He didn't, yeah. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray said while outlining the evidence and announcing charges that could result in the death penalty if Robinson is convicted. The prosecutor said Robinson, 22, wrote in one text that he spent more than a week planning the attack of Kirk's. So he's going to write all of this down in text and incriminate himself. He's going to write it all out there for everybody. A written confession. He's going to, of course, have a written confession. Yeah, okay. Do you believe that? Do you honestly believe that? And let me ask my audience another thing here. And give me an honest answer. I'm really curious. Do any of you believe he's the only shooter? Do any of you believe he's the lone shooter? And do any of you believe, put it in the comments, do any of you believe he's the lone shooter? And do any of you believe 𝗂𝗏 or 𝗵𝗏𝗀 𝗠𝗃 will get to the bottom of this? I'm just curious. I still believe they're doing the best they can. I just, the Epstein list thing, sorry if my confidence is shattered. I'm just saying, do any of you believe this? Do you believe that he's a lone shooter, and do you believe 𝗂𝗏 and 𝗵𝗏𝗀 𝗠𝗃 of the FBI will get to the bottom of this? Do you trust them? I'm just asking the question. And there's more and more written confessions, by the way. Leaked messages from Charlie Kirk assassin. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. Thus, Tyler Robinson messaged his friends on Discord, seemingly apologizing for murdering Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry for all of this. Are you kidding me? Do any of you believe this? Do any of you believe this? That he just said, hey guys, hey, it was me. It was me. I did it. I did it. After I ran off the roof and tried to hide. I did it. I'm sorry for all this. I obtained this in other Discord chats. I've decided to publish the legacy news media usually refuses, along with new information I've learned about Robinson from the people who knew him best. Trump and company portray the alleged Utah shooter as left-wing, and liberals portray him as right-wing. The federal conclusion will inevitably be that he was a so-called nihilist, violent extremist. That's a new term. Well, I haven't heard that. A nihilist, violent extremist. Meanwhile, the crackdown has already begun. As I reported yesterday, the country is practically ready to go to war. The country is ready to go to war. And that's what they want. That's the MK Ultra of all this, folks. They want us against each other right now. They're stoking the fire. And that's why I say, if you're going to the memorial, be careful. Eyes and ears open. Obviously, I think it'll be safe if Trump's going to be there, but you never know. I'm going to guarantee you there's going to be some loonies there. There's going to be some crazy people there, folks. There's going to be some nut jobs there. I guarantee that. Probably protesting across the street. I don't know. Could there be a shooting? Who knows? Is it worth going? Because you're not going to be going with Secret Service. Trump is. They're going to be protected, but the crowd, I don't know. Do you guys want to risk that? Might want to sit this one out? I don't know. Just stating the obvious here. Possible extended network. So the FBI is probing a possible extended network that aided and abetted suspect Charlie Kirk shooter Tyler Robinson. The FBI's number 2 man said Monday he suspects Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, could have been aided and abetted by an extended network. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. I wonder if this is going to take 50 years like it did for JFK. Is this going to take 50 years to finally get the truth out? I don't know. I think you're going to get more truth from social media right now. And they're alluding to multiple warning signs he gave leading up to the assassination. As a Post reported Sunday, law enforcement was already probing whether pro-trans online groups, sexualized animal obsession furries, and others connected with Robinson had advanced knowledge of his alleged murder plans. Wait a minute. So they're looking at certain groups like the furries, the trans sexualized animal obsessed furries, trans groups. But wait, you're still not looking over at that little country in the Middle East, you're telling me? Oh, wow. Wow, so you're not even looking over there like everybody else is. You're not going to even take a glimpse? Nah, you're not. Not take a look at his donors, the threats he was getting to play ball. You're not going to look at any of that? Nah. All right, so I guess we're not going to get to the bottom of this. So it almost seems to me, folks, and let me know what you think about this. It almost seems like they're stoking a fire between the left and right to to create a civil unrest, to create a civil war. And maybe that's why Tyler Robinson is so important. He's going to stoke that civil unrest. I don't know. Do I make sense here, Alex? I don't know. What do you think, Alex? I feel like maybe that's what this is all about.
Yeah, things are getting agitated in that direction, and we just need to be.
That's what they want.
That's what they want. And, you know, it's on the one hand, you feel all that rage inside, you know, it's justifiable, like the anger and the want, you know, to fight back. But at the same time, like, I don't want to be consumed with this like anger and hatred in my heart. Like, that's not what God wants for us. And that leads me further from that path. And it doesn't help me in my day-to-day life, you know? So it's like, we need to channel this into like, just into some, but not pacifism, not tolerance of, because, you know, tolerance, this is what they wanted. Tolerance only works when all parties are acting in good faith. And the left has shown that they're not interested in tolerance.
No, they're not. They're interested in violence. They're now going to the next phase, which is violent killings, you know, beatings. Who knows? I mean, really, we got to be on our P's and Q's and watch out now. We got to watch our six.
Yep. Yeah. No. And this is the end result of what you know, radical leftism leads to. It's violence. It's body counts. We saw what happened with communism in the 20th century. It's just, it always is the same. It leads to the same result, and they want to run the play again and think it's going to be different. It never will be.
But look what happened with George Floyd, and look what's happening now. People are praying. They're at candlelight vigils. I mean, the response is completely different. It sparked it kicked off a revival worldwide. But a drug addict like George Floyd, who's actually a criminal, dies, and they're out burning buildings and looting and robbing and rioting. But we on our side are holding candlelight vigils, dude, praying. I mean, the response is worlds apart, man. But I mean, you cannot tolerate this kind of violence. And I think what we got to think about here is, you know, the military going into these cities like Trump is doing. I mean, they're already doing the midday raids in Chicago. I mean, I'm telling you now, it's going to be an all Democratic hellholes, and the party's just getting started, folks.
I think, wasn't Charlie Kirk born in Chicago? Or I know he lives in lived in Arizona. I thought he was originally from Chicago, which is, I don't know if that's not necessarily relevant or related, but maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I know he's in Phoenix now forever.
Yeah.
But anyway, Charlie Kirk officials ask for the death penalty as assassin is charged with murder, and his sick texts with roommate are exposed. So we all know. It's just so convenient. It's just so convenient, right? I mean, I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. He sounds like an Oswald to me. It sounds like an Oswald to me. And I'm going to get into the mid-roll and take some super chats as well, folks. All right, folks, get your collagen, baby. The 2025 survey found that overall half of U.S. adults are concerned about how fast their skin is aging. And 40% fixate on random wrinkles or dark spots. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. More and more people are noticing visible changes in their skin far earlier than expected. This is why I use my secret anti-aging weapon, and I'm obsessed with the changes I've noticed in my skin. It provides my skin with five must-have types of premium collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles. Since taking it, I've experienced smoother skin, more elasticity, fewer fine lines, and a more youthful glow. Plus, it mixes smoothly with my coffee or tea and has no taste or clumps. Be sure to grab a bag of ageless multi-collagen now while it's 51% off. So, folks, I'm telling you, I use this stuff. I use everything that I peddle here. And this stuff works, to me, the best. The collagen works the best. Texas Tech student Greg Abbott, blasted for mocking Charlie Kirk, is jailed and no longer enrolled. So this is where a fine balance comes in. I mean, as sick as it is, as crazy it is, it's still freedom of speech. We've already banned flag burning. What is this? I mean, students should be allowed to have free speech, although I think it's disgusting. You can't jail somebody for free speech. What is going on here? So I've said the pendulum swings far left, and then it could swing really far right. And this, to me, as crazy as this fucking kid it probably is, I don't know, it's swinging really far right. Texas Tech University declined to say Monday why its police officers arrested a student who was filmed in a heated exchange at a vigil for Charlie Kirk, an incident that drew national attention, with Governor Greg Abbott cheering her arrest for mocking the conservative activist assassination. But wait, we still live in America, folks. People still have the right to be stupid. People still have the right to voice their opinions, even if we don't agree with them. Okay? I'm sorry. I understand this is crazy. They're lunatics. I don't agree with their mental illness, but you're still allowed to have mental illness in America. So this, to me, I'm watching this, folks, and this is still very, very fucking dangerous territory to me. The university police department would only say that the student, 18-year-old Cameron Giselle Booker, was charged on Friday with simple assault, a Class C misdemeanor that typically does not result in jail time. She was booked into the Lubbock County Jail. I've been there. At 4:52 p.m. and released the next day at 2:11. I've been to Lubbock, not the county jail. I've been to Lubbock, not the county jail. Or was I in the county jail? No, I was in a different county. Oh, boy. After paying a $200 bond, a spokeswoman said for the sheriff's office. The university said in a statement that Booker was no longer enrolled at Texas Tech, but it didn't say if she had been expelled. Any behavior that degenerates victims of violence is reprehensible and has no place in our campus. So they got rid of her. And it's not aligned with our values. So, okay, people got to really watch what they say and do. Now, people are getting fired left and right. I don't know. I don't know how you all feel about that. Let me know. Oh, no, you're wishing me a happy birthday. Oh, no, you guys. Yeah. It's not today, folks. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. Check this out. DOJ deletes study showing domestic terrorists. Domestic terrorists are most often right-wing. The Department of Justice has removed a study showing that white supremacists and far-right violence continues to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violent extremism in the United States. Well, damn, you could have fooled me on that one. I don't know. I don't know about that one, but okay, we'll go with what you're saying here. Oh, and they deleted the study. Okay. Newsweek reports. I don't know if this is out of context. I want to get your opinions on this. 𝗂𝗏 says no credible info. Epstein trafficked young women to others. Is this real? I wanted to ask my audience on this. This is Newsweek. Is this for real? Did 𝗂𝗏 really say this? FBI Director 𝗂𝗏 told U.S. senators on Tuesday morning that there is no credible information in case files that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked young women to anyone other than himself. I'm reading, you're seeing it right there. It says right there on Newsweek. It says it right there on Newsweek. The remarks came during a heated hearing of the Senate Judiciary Committee in which Republican Louisiana Senator John Kennedy asked Patel about his knowledge of the Epstein files. Why it matters, the committee's questioning of Patel comes amid increased security of his leadership of the FBI and his handling of the investigation into the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk last week. Here's what to know. Kennedy, alongside with other senators, questioned Patel over the Epstein files on Tuesday morning. You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to, these young women to, besides himself? Kennedy asked Patel. Patel responded, himself. There is no credible information, none. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited. Kennedy followed up, so the answer is no one. The FBI director responded. For the information that we have in the case files, Kennedy such as an explanation was unlikely to satisfy calls for greater transparency. The issue is not going to go away, Kennedy said. The central question for the American people is this. They know Epstein trafficked young women for sex with himself. What they want to know is whether he trafficked them to anyone else. Are you kidding me? Dude. Like, I can't stick up for you anymore. I can't. I want to, but I can't. I can't get behind this. I can't. And neither can anybody else. This is fucking disgusting. Dearborn Muslim mayor unleashes on Christian resident at a city meeting. You are not welcome here. When Dearborn resident Ted Barnum raised concerns about renaming Warren Avenue after a local Arab American leader at a city council meeting last week, Mayor Abdullah Khamah unleashed his fury. It seems very provocative to have those signs of their berm said, pointing to prior remarks from 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶, editor of the Arab American News. It's almost like having maybe a street that's Hezbollah Street or Hamas Street. Hezbollah bombed the embassy in Beirut, including many Americans. So I just feel like it's quite inappropriate. Khamah didn't hesitate in attacking Burma, blasting his constituent as an Islamophobe on WJBK reports. Although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. This guy had the balls and the audacity to say this. Although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here, Khamah said. The day you move out of this city will be the day I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city. Folks, this shit is serious. They're taking over really fast. And they were brought in by the fucking millions. Under Obama. I heard Hochul just endorse Mamdani. Charlie Kirk's pastor rebukes Candace Owens for haunting Kirk family with conspiracy theories. I mean, are they conspiracy theories? Because to me, she's doing a lot of great investigative work, and to me, she's uncovering a lot. Okay? But I don't know. So in a statement relayed to the public by a number of people, including the Babylon Bees, Joel Berry, Rob McCoy said the following. Charlie Kirk was my friend, and I was his pastor. I want to simply say this regarding Candace Owens. Charlie Kirk was a friend of Candace and never publicly spoke poorly of her though he disagreed with her. He never operated nor entertained gossip or innuendo concerning Candace. My only comment I offer regarding Candace is this. I only wish at this tragic time of mourning she would be the friend of Charlie that he was to her. He would never have treated Candace or her family in such a way had, God forbid, this tragedy been hers. A friend loves at all times. What the hell? That was kind of dark. Owens has suggested that Kirk, a longtime supporter of Israel, was beginning to have rational thoughts about Israel in the months before his death and submitted that billionaire activist Bill Ackman made threats against Kirk as a result. I got to tell you, man, this chick's got some balls on her. I mean, she's going all in. She really is going all in, Candace Owens. So I don't know what you all think about her, but I'm watching her and I'm thinking, wow, she's got some bravado, man. She gives zero fucks. Interesting. Robert Redford, screen idol turned director and activist, dies at 89. Holy shit. Wow. Wasn't he the guy that discovered Brad Pitt? I've heard before that Robert Redford was the guy that he was the one responsible for discovering Brad Pitt, but I don't know if that's true. So Robert Redford has died, 89 years old, folks. That's a long life. Long life. I'm going to take some super chats right now. Let's take some super chats. Let's see. What do we got here? Commander Shepard. Everyone should watch Sam Hyde's incredible 2-minute video on Charlie Kirk. Look up songs about Charlie from the Tom McDonald and Reckoning coming too. Absolutely. I got to listen to some more of the Tom McDonald guy. Samaj S, what's going on, my man? Moonshiner Tyler said that Lord revealed to him we are having such a heavy feeling of sadness because collectively the body of Christ has experienced a huge loss, even though we didn't know him. I'm telling you what, man, I feel like I'm a lot heavier. I don't remember this feeling ever in my life for someone I didn't know. I don't think I've ever had this feeling for someone I did not know personally. And although I haven't cried, I've choked up a little bit here and there. But the heaviness that I'm feeling is as if I lost a close friend, and that we've been delivered a massive blow in the movement. And I just feel like, I don't know, it's kind of like that sombering, horrible, heavy feeling of 9/11. I don't know if you all feel the same way. It kind of feels the same way, like America. I mean, just watching his death was just horrific. I mean, all of us saw it. We all witnessed it. It was horrific. I mean, it was just so disturbing. I still can't get that visual out of my head. I can't. I mean, sometimes I wake at night and it's playing in my head, and then I think about his family, his wife, his kids. Now his kids are going to go their whole life just hearing stories about how incredible Charlie Kirk was, but never knowing their father. That's what these people did to this family. And although Turning Point has gotten 18,000 plus new chapters, do you really believe it will be as big as it was before? I don't know. Maybe his wife will take this to the next level, but I just can't imagine anybody replacing Charlie Kirk, being able to debate the leftist lunatics like the way he did. I don't see anyone doing it. And like I said, this vacuum that is here now is gonna have to be filled, and it ain't gonna be filled. And let me say this: it's not gonna be filled by Ben Shapiro or Milo Yiannopoulos. It's not. Julie Ben, wishing you a happy birthday, September. Ay. Here's 4 big happy birthday hugs just for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Julie Ben. Yeah, it's my birthday.
Well, tomorrow it is.
Tomorrow.
So everybody's trying to wish you since we don't have a show. Or we do have a show, actually. Are we doing a show tomorrow, though?
Yeah, I think we're doing one with Dale.
We actually are.
Dale
Well, yeah, we are going to do
doing an evening show. Yeah, that's right. What time do we have Dale for?
Was that 8:30? You said?
Yeah, we're doing a late show tomorrow, folks, with Dale Comstock. Navy SEAL Special Ops. Going to be talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination from his perspective, what he's looked into it, how the bullet entered, exited, the whole thing. So I think that's going to be pretty damn, that's going to be an important show, I think. Do we have any? Okay, Alicia Marie, thank you. Thank you, Alicia, so much. Carolyn May, happy birthday. We love you for your parents. Thank you. Thank you. Carolyn May, thank you. Rhonda Peterson, love your shows. Nino, Alex really does a fantastic job, and continue prayers for you and your family. See, everyone loves the additive here. Everyone loves Alex.
Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, everybody.
Love the little man bun. Everyone loves the man bun. What else we got? Future Miracle, thank you. Thank you so much. Samaj S. Moonshiner Tyler said the Lord said Charlie's death is the start of persecution in the U.S. 100%. 100% you hear about specimen in Panama? No, I did not. About specimen in Panama. No. Happy birthday, Nino. Thank you so much, Samaj. Jenny Shu, David, I see a beautiful work that God is doing you in your heart, even if you are having many challenges with your parents. I'm still hanging in with my mother 2 years now. Love you, sweet brother. Love you too. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Lynn Colander, do you think Three Eye Atlas will be the fake alien arrival as Jesus to hijack the revival of Christians right before our Christmas? I don't know. I've had L.A. Marzulli on, Gary Cassidy, David Seneda. I don't know what to make of this thing. I think it's going to be a nothing burger. I think it's just going to fly by and do nothing. I don't even think you'll see it. I don't know. But I think it's pretty interesting. It looks like there's some intelligence there. But is it real? I don't know. Is it just made up? Is it just a NASA psyop? Who knows? Elizabeth Juarez, thank you. Truth Seek, Bondi is a joke. Trump continues to praise her, losing faith in this administration by the day. Narrative too convenient. Now free speech is in jeopardy. Yeah. It's like, look, I share your frustrations. I do. I honestly do. But I have a lot of great guests on Nino'sCorner.tv that keep me keep my hopes up, let's just say. And everything I'm watching still, folks, we're at war. It's not like we're not going to take hits. It's like boxing. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. And we took a massive hit with Charlie Kirk. But it's like saying, go swimming and don't get wet. We're at war. This is 5th generation warfare. And we're going to get hit. And guess what? We're going to get hit a lot more. A lot more. So you better put on you better roll up your sleeves and put on your bootstraps, folks, because this is a long fight. And, you better have thick skin. It's like Sylvester Stallone said, why are the alligators, what did he say? Why are the alligators the one millions of years old? Why are they the ones that are millions and millions of years old? Is because they have tough skin. They have thick skin. They've outlasted everything. All right, let's get to the next one. Live free or die. Happy birthday, Nino. Thank you. Skylar Lukens. Pretty safe to say you don't owe Cash that dinner anymore. Ho! Happy early birthday, Nino. Wow. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. Perseverance, happy birthday for tomorrow. Was at a revival service last night. Holy Spirit presence was strong. Again, hands on head, praying for you and your mother and father. God's blessings for you and your mother and father. Thank you so much. Perseverance 3. Nee Ruam, thank you. Happy early birthday, Nino. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for all you do. I am chosen. Happy early birthday, champ. Thank you. Your love. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a big one. Thanks, I am chosen. Thank you. Mary Ellen Johnson, what does Nino want for his birthday? I'm going to go to, I don't know. Honestly, just a dinner. I'm just going to do a dinner. That's what you do when you're older. You don't really do any, I mean, what do you do when you're older? I don't know. It's not like I go to the bar. I'm not going to be that guy at the bars anymore. That's another reason I quit drinking, by the way. I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be that 40-something-year-old in the bars, hitting on young ass, looking like a pathetic loser. Like, at some point, you got to realize your time is up. And I've realized that. So, yeah. And plus, I almost died twice. So, there you go. Not doing that anymore. Lisa Page Cohen, happy birthday, David, to my fellow Virgo. May you have many blessings. Thank you. All right. That's it. I'm going to go what the fuck news and what the fuck news and what the fuck news, as if Charlie Kirk isn't what the fuck news. But, girlfriend bashes sleeping lover's head with a hatchet, but is all smiles in demented police mugshot. This is sick. I mean, isn't our society just getting worse and worse and worse? A North Dakota woman whacked her sleeping boyfriend in the head with a hatchet, but could barely contain a bearing smile when cops picked her up for the deranged attack, officials in reports said. Lena D'Oliveira, 23, allegedly attacked her boyfriend, Jonathan Granados, with a hatchet without warning while the couple were staying in a garage in Fargo around 5 a.m. September 5th, Inform reported, citing court documents. Granados was rushed into the emergency room after police responded to the garage attack, authorities said. Another man who was also staying in the garage identified D'Oliveira as the attacker and said she was homeless and often couch surfed in the garage and in other neighborhood homes, the outlet reported. The witness, who was not identified, also told police that he woke up to blood-curdling screaming and saw D'Oliveira allegedly striking Granados with the hatchet. Look at her picture right there, folks. That's the photo of a Looney Tune. And this stuff's spreading. I don't know. I don't know about you all, but I see this just spreading across not just America, but across the world. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the drugs, no God, no Jesus. I mean, this is what we're up against. This is it. Look at her smiling. Like, she's going to be in jail for the rest of her life now, and she's smiling about it. Just sickness, man. Look how sick that person is. Look at that picture. Take a good look at that picture. I don't know, man. Man, we are battling mental illness. Some of you may call it mental illness. I call this a spiritual war. I call this demonic possession. And I think it's going to get much worse. It's going to get much, much worse as we go into fall. And I'm still going to say this. I'm doubling and tripling down on this. The arrests are coming. And this is why it's going to pick up speed. And this is why it's going to intensify and escalate, because it's coming. Yeah, I'm still backing Trump all the way. And I still back Cash, and I still back Dan Bongino. I just don't know what the fuck is going on. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it on ninoscorner.tv. I will ask the questions you want me to ask because I'm just like all of you. I feel the same things. I'm not handled by anybody. I'm my own fucking man. All right, folks, I'm out of here. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby. Later, folks.